about solving the trustless Oracle problem with Polkadot and T3RN. Do we have like a clicker or something? Amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's me as an avatar. So okay, quick outline for what to expect today. I will try to explain how you can view T3RN, especially from the perspective of accessing the state of cross-chains, and then how could you apply this functionality to build out some cool use cases. And then at the very end of the presentation, we'll dive into one of these use cases, the pilot use case that we find very useful, kind of cool, that you can access the price feeds directly from the from Ethereum state. So you wouldn't need this kind of like a natural sort of approach that we see in Oracle, that you have this off-chain component, that the data needs to be off-boarded off-chain, signed a little bit, and then brought back in on-chain. So you have this like kind of security component over the broken. I will try to like demonstrate how to do it without the need for going off-chain at any point over the execution. So what T3RN is about, we enable smart contracts to be interoperable. So the smart contracts, we don't really discriminate. Like Solidity is good, WASM Inc. is good. What smart contracts are for us is essentially an execution that leads into generating a couple of cross-chain orders. We call them internally side effects. And those side effects, this is the characteristic that you would normally expect from a smart contract execution. It's just that it's quite tricky to do when we think about smart contracts. It could execute on multiple chains. And you would like to keep this characteristic that in case something goes wrong over the execution of a smart contract, then, for example, like in the middle, you run out of gas, you wouldn't like to see the after effects of like kind of half applied state of a smart contract execution. And that's where T3RN comes handy. So we call this characteristic failsafe, that bunch of cross-chain transactions can be grouped into the failsafe umbrella. And any user, developer, anyone really who submits the order can expect that all of the state outlined by each specific operation is going to be applied fully on all of the target chains. And for constructing, that's the last point here, on-chain rewards. So now yeah, we tap really into flexibility of substrate, which allows us to construct the economics from the start, from the get-go. And it also comes from the fact that once we have the parachain slot, we essentially don't need to pay the layer 0, the layer 1, the gas execution costs. So we constructed the smart contracts economy in the way that all of the gas fees that smart contracts generate is being kicked back to original auto. This is going to be 80%. 20% goes to collators. You can look at T3RN from the perspective of 3 layers. And the today's talk, the price feed demo, this is going to be the layer 3 that fits into a use of interoperable smart contract. But to make this all kind of working seamlessly, you would expect that if you want to have it done in a transparent, trustless way, you would need to see some layers below it. And the very kind of extensible layer that we provide as part of T3RN, we call it Portal, and to which You can integrate extensions to verify the state and verify the finality on multiple different chains. So what we've been working on for the past year, this is the Grandpa Lite client. So now what's being deployed for the testnet parachain on Rococo for Turn. This is a Grandpa Lite client for Rococo, for Polkadot, and Kusama. What it means is that you can essentially tap into a state and integrate with any of Polkadot Kusama parachains. And then the next Lite client that we have developed is Ethereum 2. So it essentially means that every new chain that we integrate, in this case Ethereum, can interact with all of the previous integrations using exactly the same uniformed API through the portal. And about this API, this is going to be the next slide. But there is also this, like, the layer one, the actual protocol, which is the seamless execution. And you can think about this as sort of like an implicit liquidity layer where all of these three actors, collators, attesters, and executors interact with one another to essentially provide, this is all working on like an open market basis. So the order comes, there is a bidding process, executors can bid on execution, assuming that they calculate the kind of like risk-reward analysis. This is also what we did off-chain. That they facilitate the cross-chain execution, which could be seen essentially as any atomic cross-chain swap or any atomic cross-chain execution in general, which is something that you would like to see from smart contracts. And there is like a funny caveat there, because once we have the parachain, the storage is cheap. So we can pack the Lite clients, which, like, by now, usually Lite clients are, it's okay. Lite clients is just essentially collecting headers without looking into deeper into all of the transactions. The routes are enough for the Lite client. And then what you usually see, the Lite clients are just like an additional component for the off-chain agents. We pack them on-chain. So we have Lite clients for, as mentioned, Kusama, Polkadot, Rococo, and also Ethereum. Because we pack it on-chain, it means that the verification from all of the headers, it's all included under the same consensus security umbrella. So essentially under the secure Polkadot consensus. And now, so there is a bunch of code there, but perhaps like a good thing to realize is, so all of these functions on the right side, you could access from smart contract. So this provides like a, quite like a powerful feature to any smart contract builder, from where you can access directly after you want to send a transfer, you want to send a call to any Ethereum contract, for example, or to any contract that lives on any parachain like Moonbeam. And you can actually on-chain verify that the execution has happened and the transfer that you're gonna send was sent with like the correct parameters that you were assuming it's gonna go. So you can get all of the, essentially all of the characteristics from the connected Lite client. So you can read the heights, finalized, justified. This is essentially following the Ethereum epochs. And you can verify that event was included, that state was included, and that the transaction was included on-chain. So at any point on this road, you didn't have to kind of construct like an additional layer from which you would be bringing the data off-chain and like have to mangle it off-chain by kind of like a breaking security layer. So yeah, for example of Ethereum, the Ethereum Lite client, it just follows the active committee set signatures, so it's compatible with, essentially the security guarantee is the same as the consensus of Ethereum, and by accessing any state from Grandma Lite clients, the state guarantees is the same as a state guarantee on Polkadot or Kusama. So having such interface, the next step that we were thinking of is how we could bring on like some cool solutions that would demonstrate the functionalities of such interface. So you can easily see that you can build the bridging solutions on top of it. Like you can verify the transfers indeed has happened. And also, you can think about an example that essentially simply, since we already have the access to any smart contract on Ethereum, including all of the DEXs. In this example, we're using the Uniswap to simply access the state of all of the assets that have already been collected under the Uniswap liquidity pools. So in this example, how we think is smart to organize a solution to provide simply a price feed is we don't need to rely on any kind of like additional oracles. We just simply verify the inclusion of the events, events that the price was updated. We provide the inclusion for each price update. We have this wrapping contract on top of Uniswap. And yeah, we just verify the event inclusion that the price was updated, what's the exact ratio, what's the exact weight of the price. And there is a left side of the contract, which essentially is deployed on turn and provides the interface for accessing the price, in this example from Uniswap. But you can easily see how it could like expand both horizontally and vertically, so to provide like a more honest price feed estimation. For example, like Sushi implements the same interface as Uniswap, so using the exact kind of interface, we could extend this wrapper contract that you saw on the previous slide on the right side by additionally weighing the price pair from Sushi, from Uniswap, and then kind of you can expand also vertically. You can think about, okay, so like if we deployed on turn a Lite client that is compatible with Binance Chain, we could weigh the same kind of price also with the prices with Binance Chain. So essentially what the price feed would mean for Snorkel, this is the term that we coined for this private solution. Snorkel, because you could dive into prices kind of like deeper into additional blockchains and horizontally for more DEXs to provide the like sort of like more honesty of the prices. So the result is we weighed all of the prices for the assets from as many DEXs as user wanted to. And yeah, at any point, we didn't have to like measure or like introduce any additional thing over there that would like sign data that would come from CoinMarketCaps or CoinGecko's. All of the data is available on-chain, so we just simply provide the state verification layer on top of it and illustrate as this pilot use case. And yeah, we would love for you guys to perhaps consider getting involved. Now we are almost complete with the product. We are now thinking about approaching the audit stage, and at the same time you can expect on Rococo that we're gonna be entering like a very intense QA phase. And yeah, we would love for anyone willing to like try out the product and perhaps like benefit from the cross-chain trafficking, essentially by running either executor or attester. For more detail, you can visit the docs. This is probably enough of a topic for like a separate presentation here. We have quite, I think, attractive token economics sorted out at the beginning. So yeah, see you on testnet essentially. And yeah, you can check out, like, we are also hiring. You can check out, of course, our GitHub repo, follow us on Twitter, and join Telegram to join community. Thank you so much.
Awesome, great job, Maciej. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Nice summary there at the end as well. Nice to see that you guys are hiring. That you're the first speaker so far to share with us that you're hiring and putting out a link of your Angel page. So
yeah.
Good job, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Anyone looking for a job in Web3, they could speak straight to you, right? Could they?
Obviously.
Yeah, even better. Rather than goes through Well-Found or Angel, come straight to you.
Well.
Great. Thanks so much, Maciej. We appreciate that. Thank you. Good job.